Hey there YouTube, rhaegar here for another response video. This response is the same OG. Now, I feel a bit late to the party at this point, but, you know, I'm getting there. I'm getting better with these things for time. You know, sometimes I feel like I forget that I've got a camera when I watch the videos and think, I could respond to that, and then forget that I could respond to that, you know. But, here we go. Right, this response is the response to his video about villains. Now, when I think about villains in RPG, I think there are two main types of villains that come to mind for me. You have the villains that are created by the party, essentially. You know, they're things that they meet during the adventure, and they make enemies of them. Say, like, you know, they get attacked by a bandit camp, good old-fashioned bandits, you know, I use them a lot. And the bandit leader gets away, and then he vows revenge on them for killing his men and ruining his day, and then he comes back with more bandits, or hires mercenaries to attack them, that sort of thing. That's a kind of organic villain that's created through play, you know. The players mess around, cause some stuff to happen, and then these guys will come after them, you know. And the other type of villain is the main villain. Now, the main villain is usually more used in a narrative type game where you're trying to tell a story. And if that's the type of thing you're trying to go for, I would definitely advise these points when creating your villain. You need to have a villain who is consistent in what he does. I don't mean that he can't, he has to be consistent in his actions from his point of view, you know. If he's a psychotic, he has to, you know, act like a psychotic would act. That makes sense. If he's a more passive aggressive kind of, you know, behind the scenes, then he shouldn't appear to the party very often. Actually, Underwood did a very good video, I think, about this sort of thing. He wasn't talking about villains directly, but he was talking about devils, and that's sort of how I think about a villain. A really good villain should be hard to get at. And he shouldn't be that because he's just awkward, but he's smart. He's smart in some way, either through intelligence or ferocity, or through resource management. He just doesn't let, you know, he is smart enough not to let these adventures bother him, basically, unless they make a concerted effort, right? So you've got consistency. A good villain should give the players a reason to want to bring him down, basically. You want to give them a stake in the events. Like, either he comes after them on a personal level, say he kills off a character that they know, you know, destroys their village, you know, that kind of thing. He basically really tries to demoralise them, give them something to fight for, both from a player perspective as well, you know. You may have befriended an NPC and he just killed him because you knew him, you know. But that's just an example. Another stake, he has to be relatable in some way. Like, a good villain, in my opinion, is someone that you can sort of understand where they're coming from. You know, you sort of get why they're doing what they're doing, but you disagree with them for whatever reason, you know. This could be like, spoiler moment, if you've not seen Watchmen, the way that in Watchmen, Ozymandias, that's how you say his name, tries to unite the world by doing a great crime. You know, he basically creates a lot of slaughter to bring the world together. You know, a disaster that basically forces the world to unite. So, in his view, he was doing the right thing, but, you know, from our character's point of view in the story, he's a bit of a bastard for doing it, you know? You know, he's killed thousands of people to essentially save the world, you know? Yeah, a villain also needs to... If it's a cinematic villain, you need to have some kind of big showdown planned in your head, where it's going to culminate, what this guy is going to do, like have an idea of what actions he would take. Think of it like, if the players did not interact with the main villain at all, what would he do? How would his plans escalate? And then try and weave that into the narrative and get the players to become the force that sort of disrupts him and put them on the track to take him down. The advantage of the main villain is it gives a sense of escalation and scale, and that's what I like about them. You know, you get that sense of payoff when you bring them down, but it should never be easy. And that is a problem with villains that the party creates. They never seem to me like the big game, because it's sort of like they tend to meet them, you know, like they're already doing something when they create this problem, essentially. You know, these villains. So these guys are just new on the scene, not like something that's been planning it for aeons, you know, or has been trying to open a portal to the demon world since he was a young little wizardling type of thing, you know. So there's my little tidbits on the villains. I hope that was useful to MLG. I'm not quite sure. I think like I rambled on for a bit there, but hope you enjoyed the video, mate. Until next time.